Welcome back, it's Nine, and today we are going to be discussing some PlayStation 5 news. Apparently, pre-orders are going to go live very soon based on a retailer tweeting out something and then removing it right afterwards. And then we are also going to discuss the Xbox Series S confirmation and price, and also an alleged price on the Xbox Series X. Now, we're going to discuss this because it all does relate back to the PlayStation 5 in some way. That is their competitor, so therefore we must discuss both sides of the spectrum. Now, before we get into that, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. Now let's get right into it, starting with this article that comes from pushsquare.com titled PS5 pre-orders reportedly imminent, but retailer removes the tweet. The tweet that was taken down says, those awaiting pre-orders and have an RYI, please stand by for updates. PS5 has scheduled an announcement tomorrow, so things are about to kick off this week, and this was posted September 8th, 2020, #Guildford. Okay, so this is pretty insane, right? So we had a lot of speculation and rumors about a September 9th event because of the 25th anniversary. Is it possible that this just confirmed it? Is it possible that there's some validity to this tweet? Is it possible? That's the question here. Is it possible? But I don't know. It seems really out of the ordinary for somebody to just send out a tweet like this, and apparently from a place like Guildford, which from my understanding from looking on the internet, it would be weird for them to just throw something out there that isn't trustworthy. So it could very well likely be that we are getting some sort of announcement tomorrow, and that would be a huge deal. Now, I don't want to, get you guys' hopes up. So you got to take this with a grain of salt. You got to have to, manage your expectations, because the worst thing is getting your hypes up like we did with that last Roberto Serrano tweet like a while back. And this is one of those things where we know that it's not just going to go live, okay? We know that Sony has already said that they're going to give us ample notice. By that, it could mean that they could announce an official date tomorrow, along with prices, along with a teardown and UI and all this stuff. So it's very likely that there still could be an event, but they're going to, give us a specific date for the pre-order date. Again, we're used to Sony announcing things a couple days at a time ahead, or even a week ahead before they do an event. So it is seeming like out of the ordinary that this is happening, but it could also connect to what's coming up in our next topics, which is Xbox officially telling us about the Series S and telling us exactly how much it costs. And this tweet comes from Xbox. Let's make it official. Xbox Series S next-gen performance in the smallest Xbox ever, $299. Looking forward to sharing more soon. Promise. Xbox Series S. You get a look at it. I'll have it up on screen for you guys. It looks interesting. It's an interesting design. I mean, it's not the most appealing thing with that big round circle on top of it. I'm assuming that's a vent to keep it cool. But, whatever, as long as it works, right? But you can see there's no disk drive as well, so they've definitely cut costs on the disk drive. It's going to be less powerful, obviously, but it is going to be that next-gen experience still, allegedly. And this makes an interesting case for the PlayStation 5. If this console is going for $299, I feel like if the digital edition doesn't go for at least $399, there may be some sort of argument on the internet. I really don't think, and I've been saying this since the beginning, I don't think that this truly will impact PlayStation. People who want a PlayStation are going to go out and buy a PlayStation. They don't care how much an Xbox Series S costs or even a Series X costs because of those exclusives and those experiences. I feel like that alone is always going to maintain their audience from buying a PS5. Now, I'm not saying that nobody out there is going to care. Obviously, parents buying consoles for the kids are going to probably go with the cheapest option because, well, if they don't have an investment in gaming and they don't really understand what it's about, they're probably just looking to buy their, kid a console and just say, hey, a Merry Christmas or whatever it may be, and that's it, right? Maybe they don't want to spend the extra money for the extra power or the better experience, in my opinion. So it's all a matter of perspective and depending on the person, but I do think that this does make an impact on PlayStation, and maybe this is the cue for Sony to go next. Hey, this is when our console's coming out. Hey, this is the price. I feel like all these things come together, and we have to realize that while PlayStation is a market leader and they do things in their way, in their time, and they always will, in my opinion, I do agree that, yes, Xbox revealing their price does make an impact on Sony's next move. So I think that maybe we are going to see PlayStation come out with something next, saying this is our price. I do think that this is going to push the schedule a little bit ahead. Like, I feel like we're going to get it sooner rather than later. Is it September 9th? I don't know. It's, it's all up to if Sony is really going to announce that short term. Maybe they do announce, here's a date, we're going to do it tomorrow, but I don't know if they'd do a whole event such short notice. But on to our last one, and this is about the price of the Xbox Series X. And this is a big deal, right? This comes from Windows Central. Allegedly, this person writing this, Jez Corden and Zach Bowden, are very, trustworthy people. They would know what's going on with the Xbox. Allegedly, that's what my understanding is. And this is what's highlighted here. Xbox Series S console design finally leaked. We can confirm the Xbox Series S is $299 and the Xbox Series X is $499. Xbox Series S and Series X will launch on November 10th, 2020. Microsoft has since partially confirmed our report unveiling the Xbox Series S with a $299 price tag. So prior to them even revealing it, like confirming it, they had it right that the Series S is $299. What are the chances, right? So I think there's some sort of, I understand that there is luck involved too and predictions, but this sounds like it wasn't a prediction. And from the internet, reading everything, it seems like they're very trustworthy people when it comes to knowing information on the inside. So a $499 Series X, guys, you have to understand something. A $499 Series X is a very good value for what the console brings. Now, again, and I will reiterate, but it doesn't really matter when it comes to the PlayStation 5. Even if the PlayStation 5 was $599, in my opinion, I still think that it would sell off shelves very fast because of the experiences and exclusives. Now, what I'm saying is not that a $499 Series X means trouble for Sony, because that really isn't the case at all. But I do think it is competitive pricing. It's very competitive pricing. Are those consoles launching with really no first-party exclusives that are going to make a big deal? Yeah, they're not. But is that a competitive price for, say, experiencing third-party games on a next-gen level? Yes, it is. So I think that this very well could mean we see a $499 PS5. I think that Sony would competitively market with the Xbox price. So it's a pretty big deal and it's ironic because, you'd think Xbox, not really related to PlayStation, but when you see Xbox come out with these big, reveals like prices, it really says something for Sony as well, because Sony's got to compete to a degree, obviously. And again, yes, PlayStation has the games. It has a better games, has a better experience, in my opinion. And so even if they are a little more expensive, it's not really going to make that big of a deal long term. I think people are still going to go out and buy it. Unless we're talking like $300 more expensive, it's not going to make a big difference at $100 more. But it does raise the question, when will we get these prices? When does all this happen? And I'm starting to think that it's going to happen much sooner now that we know this. Now, obviously, the Series X price is not official, but I could see that. I could see $499. I definitely see a $200 increase for the better experience on the Xbox side of things. And I don't know. I just feel like this is the moment. This is the time where, if not this week, next week, we will definitely have to get some sort of official announcement. We know that the Series X, they said they're pricing, competitively, or they're agile on their pricing. The maximum I could see them going up is $100. So even if Sony came out at $599, I think Microsoft goes in at $499, or vice versa. Like it just, I don't think there's ever going to be more than $100 difference, in my opinion. Now, I could be wrong, but that's my take on this. And I'm just going to pass this on to you guys now. This is a lot of information to take in, and I'm very curious of what you all make of this. Number one, this tweet that came out, from Guildford. Do you think there's any validity to this, being that they took it down right afterwards? Second, what do you make of the Xbox Series S price tag? And lastly, do you believe that the Xbox Series X will actually come in at $499 and a November 10th, 2020 release date? And will this impact Sony announcing earlier? Let me know in the comments. As always, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos. Hit the like button, it helps the channel a ton. Follow me on Twitter, link will be in the description. And don't forget to share this video with a friend. It really helps the channel a lot. I will talk to you guys on the next one. Take care.